1 week later, I found myself in a meeting with Melanie, giving her Ryuki's feedback and suggestions minus all the extra harshness. So that pretty much is everything Ryuki wanted me to tell you. I handed her a copy of the shoe design he'd drawn for her. Melanie looked at it and smiled. Thank you so much. I'll go and look for a pair of shoes just like this on my way home today. Excellent. Good luck. Thank you. And, thank you again for your help today. Still smiling, she stood up. Her expression was sweeter and brighter than I'd ever seen it. It wasn't long ago that she'd just stare at the floor and mumble with zero confidence. Now she smiles constantly whenever I see her. This is great. She even asked to join the next matchmaking party, so I'm sure it won't be long till she finds someone. And I have to make sure I'm there to support her the entire way. That's my duty as her advisor, and as Cupid. We can do it. We left the meeting room, and I decided to take the elevator down with Melanie to see her off. As we were walking, we ran into Owen, the company's president's secretary. Oh, hello there. Hello, Owen. I think Melanie has a crush on Owen. Suddenly, Melanie dropped her phone. Are you okay? Say, we haven't seen each other in quite a while, have we? Out of nowhere, Melanie's face turned bright red and she suddenly turned and ran away. Melanie? Huh? Her phone. It's like the Cinderella story that I watched with Selena Gomez, where she dropped her, iPod or, music player. Or her phone or something. It was a technical device. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll return it to her. I grabbed the phone from Owen and started running after Melanie. Melanie, come back! I found her back in the meeting room. She was sitting on the floor with her head leaning on her knees. Huh? Wait, does that mean what I think it means? I didn't need my Cupid bow to understand what I just saw. Her face had turned red from lovesickness. So she likes Owen. Maybe something happened between them way back when he first showed her around? Thinking back to that day, Melanie did act a bit flustered after they parted. I could finally smell love in the air. I clasped my hands together and I could feel my eyes glittering with excitement. So, where do I go from here? Maybe I should just try and pair up with Owen myself. As far as I know, he's single. Wait a second, that's right, isn't he? I opened my laptop and searched a member database for his name. Ah, there we go, found it. Just as I thought, I found his name right there in the Cupid Corp membership list. It seems like he took a bit of a break because of work, but he was definitely still a member. Melanie, you dropped your phone. I'm so sorry! She grabbed her phone and shot up to leave, but I called out to her before she could disappear. You might be interested to know, Owen is actually a member of Cupid Corp. Huh? If you want, I could submit a request to set the two of you up on a date. But I'm not... Listen, Melanie, you're a beautiful woman, and Owen has been listed as inactive for the last year. I'd be happy to contact his advisor and see if he'd be interested in becoming active again. What do you say? So yes. Are you sure that's a good idea? Absolutely. Our matchmaking system says your compatibility rating is pretty high. Why not give it a try? When she heard me say that, her eyes began to fill with tears. After a moment, though, she finally nodded. Then, if you don't mind, could you please set up the date? Melanie gripped my hands tightly, and I replied with a smile and a nod. Of course, just leave it to me. At least Melanie was ready to officially try out our dating services. I decided I had to strike while the iron was hot. They'd already spent time together once before, so I was sure she could talk with him easier than someone she didn't know. I would agree with this. I immediately sent a message to Owen's advisor, and I included Owen as well just to be safe. Okay, that should do it. I'll let you know as soon as I get a reply. Thank you so very much. A second later, my phone chimed. Thinking one of them had already replied, I opened up my phone, but instead it was a message from Ryuki. Tomorrow I'm going to unveil my latest ladies' fashion lineup at the store. What? He's already made the dresses? Amazing. Is there a problem? Melanie asked that cautiously, thinking the surprise on my face might be some kind of ill omen. Oh, sorry, no. It's about the clothes we were talking about before. It looks like they'll be in stock starting tomorrow. Really? Uh-huh. I'll get you a printout of the banquet's location. Thank you again. I'll head there first thing tomorrow. Tears still stood in her eyes, and she looked surprisingly anxious. Would you like to come with me? Huh? Oh, no. I wouldn't want to bother you with all that. Actually, I was planning to go anyway. I don't have to work tomorrow, and I really want to see his new lineup for myself. To be honest, I think it would be fun if we went together. Are you sure? Absolutely. I want Melanie to find true love, but first she needs to learn to love herself. Fashion is a fine place to start for that, I think. Yeah, I think it's really important to love yourself before you get into a relationship. And I'm Cupid, so I'm willing to do whatever it takes to bring two people together as one. Of course, that is my nature, but it's also why Clarice says I'm a slave to the company. Still, my primal instincts force me to do what I can to bring people together in love. Besides, Ryuki worked really hard on these new outfits. I want to see them all lined up in his boutique on day one. So, do you mind meeting me at 7th Ave, the new subway exit, say 10 a.m.? Sure, and thank you again. I'll see you tomorrow. Melanie gave my hand one more good squeeze before leaving. Honestly, it felt like a madam in love praying to the goddess Cupid. I'd come too far to fail now. I resolved to wake up bright and early so I could offer her all the support she needed. The next day arrived, and I found myself waiting at the exit where I'd planned to meet Melanie. I think maybe I got here a little too early. I looked at my watch and thought about how I could pass the time when a familiar figure popped up from my bag. Chi! Huh? Chi, what are you doing here? Chi! He jumped straight up onto my shoulder as if he was supposed to be there the entire time. She was always skittish and never followed me to places he hadn't been before, so I was very surprised to see him here. I wondered if he'd finally getting used to Lost York, or maybe he's just taken a liking to Ryuki. I gave Chi a pat as they looked around for a calf where I could sit down for a while. Suddenly, I had an idea. Oh, right, maybe I should give Ryuki a present to celebrate his new clothing line. He said his first delivery would arrive this morning, meaning this marked the day that Ryuki officially began its woman's line. I felt like that was definitely a day worth commemorating. I would agree. But what kind of present would he like? I was sure he had every possible beauty product already, and flowers might not last till he was able to get home. Alright, that should do it. I put the final wrapped present into my bag, then headed back to the meeting place. Eventually, I met up with Melanie, and we headed to Ryuki's boutique. We headed to his boutique, not banquet. Banquet's something totally different. Hello! Oh, you came! Ryuki was in the middle of fitting a dress onto a mannequin. Melanie's eyes positively started to sparkle looking at the lovely garment. It's so cute! Feel free to try it on if you'd like. Huh? Oh, Meeting Ryuki's sweating glare, Melanie froze as a bead of cold sweat rolled down her back. Just then, I heard my phone chime. I wonder who that is. It was a reply from Owen's advisor. It said that Owen would be happy to go on a date. Yay! That's so exciting! Melanie, Owen accepted your date request. Melanie's face suddenly went bright red again. Really? Really? It's set for this Thursday, just like you asked. You've officially got your first date. But my first date! Surprised, Melanie's face went from bright red to pale white. She stared at me, and once again her eyes started to tear up. What should I do? A date? I mean, what do I wear? I couldn't ignore Ryuki's run of irritation. Unbelievable. Come on, I'll find you something for your date. Oh, Ryuki, be nice! For really? You said this one is cute, right? Then all you need are some shoes and stockings to go with it. I came up with plenty of matching accessories specifically for people like you. I don't know if he's being nice or, let's just assume he's being nice. Ryuki sounds like that veteran designer at the magazine publisher in Goddess Upon the Camel. In the movie, the designer helps the heroine by using film industry tricks to make her look stunning, all while making fun of her. I remember seeing the clips from it on TV when Rule was out promoting the upcoming sequel. Of course, in this case, I was witnessing an actual Cinderella story unfolding in real life. Your hue hasn't changed, but your saturation and value have definitely improved. This should look fine on you now. Ryuki pulled down the dress, plus some shoes and other accessories. Here, this should be everything you need. Go ahead and try them on. Oh, okay! Melanie made her way to the changing room, lugging a heap of clothes and items with her. When I looked back, Ryuki was staring straight at me. Here, put on this dress. Oh, okay. Huh? You want me to change too? I changed the pattern again after you tried it on last time. I wanted to see how it looks now. Ryuki handed me a dress and some accessories, then shoved me into a changing stall. And with that, the fashion show for Melanie and me was about to begin. Wait, what about the present? I think I'm ready. That is so cute. Oh, and look, there's Chi in the background. Guys, there's Chi in the background. I'm so happy. I'm all set too. Wow, you look so cute. Same to you. You look adorable. Really? Not bad at all. I'd say your beauty grade has definitely gone up a bit. I just hope Owen will like it. I'm sure he will. Chi yelled out in agreement too. Too bad Melanie couldn't hear him. So, who is this Owen anyway? Ryuki, I mean, he was your roommate during Parasite House? Oh, that guy? I'd completely forgotten about him. Even after living with him for so long? I tried to get over my surprise that he forgot his own roommate when Ryuki leaned over to me and whispered, it's kind of awkward hearing you call me Mister. Would you mind dropping that? But we're in front of a client. I'm not officially working today, but I'm still her advisor and you're basically her teacher. So it's a matter of professionalism then, I suppose. He stepped back, apparently satisfied with my answer as a fellow professional. I found myself sad at his warm breath moving away. So she's going on a date with Owen, huh? Then maybe this dress would be better, considering his height. Okay, I'll change right away. As for you, spin around a couple of times. Huh? Okay. I see. Let's see how it looks with this choker. Ryuki stepped behind me and put the choker around my neck. I looked into the mirror and let out a sudden gasp. This is so cute! Now the outfit is cute? Oh, I only just noticed because I was paying attention to Melanie the whole time. So, you designed this choker too? Of course, let's see. Exactly what I was hoping. Ryuki held different outfits in front of me, telling me to spin again here and there. This top stays put, but the skirt sways with my motion. It's absolutely adorable. I knew I was just acting as a temporary model, but I wanted to rush outside in the outfit right that second. That's how amazingly cute his clothes were. I wanted to wear that outfit home and show it off to Clarice. It's so much fun getting to wear clothes like this. Ryuki didn't even need to tell me to spin. Just seeing myself in a mirror made me want to do that all on my own. The sound of heels clicking on the floor, the swaying skirt, the delicate choker around my neck, it was all just fabulous. Just then, some other customers walked into the store. I knew this place had lots of guys' clothes, but I had no idea they were going to start selling women's stuff. Oh, look! That's so cute! What's that style again? Rockabilly? It's cute and cool all at once. Hearing the girl talking caused Ryuki to blush. So, I think I'm done? Oh, look at her! That outfit is to die for! Can I get back into my normal clothes now? No, try on that hat right there. Oh, okay! She's so shy. What about me? Let me fix your hair. With what you're wearing, you'd much look cuter in a ponytail. Huh? Just hold still. Ryuki was basically having his way with both of us. We were like putty in his hands. Wow, he was right. I really did look better with a ponytail. He pulled together another bit of my hair and clipped it together with a hairpin. He said it would add some flair to my style. He changed my hairstyle, the clothes I wear. He was transforming me. Clothes and fashion are amazing. They can transform and bring out a whole different side of you. Excuse me, I'd like a complete makeover too. Yeah, no, sorry, that's reserved for me. Yeah, me too. What would go best with this skirt? I'm not a salesperson, just so you know. He sounded annoyed, but he couldn't hide his excitement as he picked out different clothes for all the new customers. Ryuki looked so happy. It wasn't that long ago that he was super anxious about creating women's clothing line. It was hard to imagine. As people saw Melanie and I and the other customers through the store window, more and more people came strolling in. Everyone's eyes were sparkling as they browsed through the clothes. It was like they discovered a whole new level of cute. Okay, Ryuki, I should probably get out of your hair. So if you want to ring me up, I'll just... Hold on. If you stay and help out, I'll give you the outfit for free of charge. What do you say? Huh? Oh, you'd be a real lifesaver. We're already drowning in customers. I looked around and saw that the checkout staff were indeed getting overwhelmed. Somehow I hadn't noticed how full the store had become until that moment. He really does need immediate help. Well, I don't want to take up valuable space, so I better get going. Thank you very much. And just like that, Melanie quickly changed back into her original clothes, paid for her outfit, and prepared to leave. After saying goodbye, I rolled up my sleeves and prepared to get to work. Okay, so what do you need me to do? Grab customers' purchases and fold anything on the rack that needs it. Got it! Yes, sir, boss! As I helped to wrap and fold clothes, Ryuki went around giving tips and offering suggestions to the customers. In the end, the introduction of the Ryuki line of women's clothes was a massive success. Yay! I'm so happy for him! Aww. Thank you for coming. Long past normal closing hours, the final customer finally left the store. After they were gone, Ryuki flipped the sign on the door to close. Meanwhile, I changed back into my other clothes and got ready to leave. Good job today. Oh, right, good job to you too. You look so happy. Ryuki had a huge smile on his face. He looked over towards the women's section. The racks were all completely empty, a testament to the huge popularity of the new lineup. That really was something. Well, I'm gonna get going. The rest of the staff left one by one, clearly exhausted. I sat down in the chair in front of the changing area to take a quick breather. Everything sold in the first day. Congratulations, Ryuki. I have to admit, I'm surprised. I honestly didn't expect them to sell so well. I have a feeling it was only because you were wearing that outfit. Huh? I still wasn't used to getting compliments from him, and his eyes widened in surprise. He quickly looked away, embarrassed. Mannequins aren't always good for showing the full quality of the clothes. Having employees wear them can make a huge difference. I realized that that's common sense, but I'd forgotten about the importance of my staff until I saw you in that outfit. I have no doubt that everything sold so well because of you, so, thank you. Ryuki still had the embarrassed look on his face, but then he combined it with a smile. I'm just glad I could help. But are you sure I can keep this outfit? I really don't mind paying. All the clothes and accessories I was wearing weren't cheap, so I wanted to make sure he was really okay with it, but he just shook his head. You more than deserve it for how much you helped me today. I see, well then, I'm very happy to take it off your hands. Just then I heard someone's stomach growl, and realized it was mine. Did you hear that? I certainly did. Oh no! You really are honest all the time, even your stomach. Aw, he's so adorable, y'all! I wasn't used to hearing Ryuki actually laugh out loud like that. I could hardly hide my embarrassment. Oh, it's just because I never got a chance to eat lunch. I guess that's true. I noticed how his shoulders moved as he laughed before settling down and taking a long look at me. Well then, why don't you come back to my place? It's not far from here, and I'd like to make you dinner to show... Hey, I will not complain about a man cooking for me, happily. Please. Are you sure? Just this once, sure. That's unusually soft. That unusual soft tone was already a gift nice enough to pay me back for my help today, and so I decided to take him up on his offer. Are you gonna give him the present? As soon as I opened the door, Kagura came running to me. Hello there, Kagura. She sniffed at me, her tail wagging wildly. I looked down at my bag. Chi stuck his head out of my bag, then jumped in surprise when he saw Kagura there. Come to think of it, Chi ran away the other day when Kagura barked at him. He really is a scaredy cat. Well, I'll go get dinner started. Feel free to have a seat wherever you want. Okay. I sat down on the couch and looked around the room. This is my second time here, but everything looks different, probably because it's nighttime now. I looked at the hue chart, then at the 10 Kasasan commandments. The glamour parasite who only cared about beauty and won't acknowledge anyone who doesn't meet his standards. I was so surprised when he first met. He sprayed me with his mist, and came at me with those harsh words of his, and yet, now that I have the chance to spend time with him, he's a lot more mature and genuine than I realized. His grandmother is Nori, the founder and designer of the Cassian brand. It's clear he wants to be an elite designer like his grandma. He's just as hard on himself as he is on anyone around him. Or everyone. I do wish he'd cut himself a little slack. He's incredibly talented, without a doubt. I just wish he could realize how special he is. Dinner is ready. I'll get him in casual clothes. Love it. Ryuki appeared in the kitchen holding a lovely quad plate. He was wearing more casual house clothes and was clearly more relaxed. Seeing him like that helped me feel more comfortable too. The wonderful aroma coming from the plate made my stomach let out another growl. Everything looks so good. This is all Japanese, right? I'm glad you noticed. On the table were a variety of small plates and dishes with a selection of food on each. I remembered reading that the finely balanced cuisine of traditional Japan was a huge trend in Lost Europe lately. I had no idea what each dish was, but everything looked amazing. Just the sight of it was incredible. I've never actually had Japanese food before. Really? Yep, but everything looks so tasty. So, this is what you're supposed to use to eat it, right? I picked up a fancy pair of chopsticks and he gave me an amused look. Do you not know how to use chopsticks? No. Just hold them like this. Ryuki went behind me and helped show me what to do. He positioned my fingers in a very intricate manner, which made them surprisingly hard to hold. You put this finger like this and move the other finger like this. Ryuki had never taken the time to explain something to me in so much detail before. Maybe it was because this reminded him of what he'd be doing if he was back in his homeland. I could tell how serious he was, even from behind. I followed his direction and tried moving the chopstick. Like this? Not quite, more like this. Ryuki's fingers are so beautiful. I couldn't take my eyes off his hands. His nails are perfectly manicured and his skin was so smooth and soft. But his hands were also bigger than mine, reminding me that he was in fact a man. Without warning, I tensed up. What the? I was suddenly aware of his hot breath on my neck. No, use your middle finger more. Like this. Like this? Like I said, you have to go like this. Slightly irritated, he moved closer to me. His hair brushed my cheek, causing me to turn my head. I was eye to eye with Ryuki. He drew in a sharp breath. I think he realized how close he was. And in a flash, he practically jumped away from me. Anyway, that's all there is. If you want to use the spoon instead, I can get one. No, it's okay. I want to try and get used to them. Okay, well then, let's eat. Okay. We prepared to dig in, clearly eager to change the mood in the room. Here we go! Bon appetit! I took a small sample from the dish in front of me. A wonderful flavor I never experienced before spread across my tongue. It's so good. So I guess you're okay with Japanese food then. I nodded at him as I chewed. It was nothing like anything I'd had before, but the flavor was truly remarkable. So, what is this anyways? It's called simmered carrots and jackfruit, very rich in natural fibers. I see, what about this one? Those are stewed turnips. Well, they taste incredible. I had no idea you were such an amazing chef. Well, food is an important component of beauty, you know? A balanced diet leads to good health, and good health leads to beauty. Even when you're busy, be conscious of what you eat. I'll keep that in mind. As he imparted more of his knowledge on beauty, I did my best to improve my chopstick skills. These things are so hard to use! I cannot use chopsticks. Meanwhile, Ryuki moved his chopsticks around without effort, picking and choosing from the dishes in front of him. He sat up straight, chewing without moving his mouth more than necessary. Every move he made was the picture of grace and beauty. I bet Clarice could tell just how high class he is with a single glance. He was born and raised in the great Kaizen family. It's natural to assume they'd strict about manners too. I tried my best to copy his way of eating when I noticed another small plate of something that looked like beans. Oh, is that natto you were always eating back during Parasite House? That's right, it's a perfect example of what nutrition is all about. I eat it every single day. It's not everyone's cup of tea though, so you don't need to force yourself to eat it. I picked up the dish in my hand. I just want to try it. I took another big bite and the flavor enveloped my mouth. It tasted like any other kind of bean, just a little more sticky and gooey. I could see why some people might not like it, but it's actually really delicious. Ryuki's eyes widened as he watched me shoveling in bite after bite. Seriously? Yeah, seriously. It reminded me of the first time I had cheese and yogurt after arriving in the human realm. It had an exotic taste for sure, but not bad at all. Or maybe my natural curiosity was just trying to convince me. Actually, it tastes good with rice too. Oh, he looks so happy! Really? I followed his suggestion and put it on top of my rice. I gave it a different scent and texture, but it still tasted amazing. So this is what it means to eat healthy. I never thought anyone outside of Japan would actually enjoy natto. Ryuki looked at me with surprise. To be honest, I've never seen anyone in the last York have natto at all. Really? Most people don't like the smell, which hurts me to hear since it's so delicious. Ryuki smiled and took a scoop of natto for himself. We enjoyed our dinner together, and after a while, we finished the meal. Whew, that was good. That was so good, thank you. Ryuki looked at my empty plate and gave me a smile. Wow, you really ate everything. Was there anything you didn't particularly care for? No, everything was amazing. I had no idea Japanese food was so good. Of course it is. Oh. His smile bloomed like a flower I couldn't take my eyes off of him. I'd never seen him smile like that before. He must have noticed me staring at him because his cheeks started to turn red. How about some tea? Oh, thanks, that sounds wonderful. I'll put the kettle on. Ryuki stood up and headed for the kitchen. I looked out the window to the lawn and saw Chi with his face buried in Kagura's food dish. Come on, Chi, I can't believe he's out there chowing down on Kagura's dinner. Celestia doesn't have food, per se, which is why Chi and I are both so interested in the kinds of things people eat down here. I guess that's why he's out there stuffing his face. Knowing Ryuki, I'm sure he buys Kagura the best dog food there is, so it must be really tasty. Still, I should probably scold Chi a bit after we clean up. I picked up my dishes and made my way to the kitchen. I don't like this music change. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh, it looks like it started to rain. We washed the dishes while the tea brewed. Once it was ready, we headed back to the living room where I noticed it was storming. Weird, considering it was totally clear just a while ago. I guess this is what they mean when they say it's pouring outside. Ryuki suddenly jumped at the sound of thunder. He looked out at the sky anxiously. Whoa, lightning! Another bolt crackled through the sky and Ryuki jumped again. Is he scared of lightning? For someone who seems to have nerves of steel, I was surprised to see Ryuki was scared of something like that. But now what should I do? I don't really want to try and go home in weather like this. I looked at the clock and saw it was past 9 o'clock. I didn't have to go to work too early, but I still wanted to get some rest. Are you leaving? Huh? Ryuki suddenly had an angry look on his face. But I spent enough time with him to know that wasn't anger. He was nervous, so he really was scared of lightning. Actually, if you don't mind, I'd love to stay a little longer, at least until the rain dies down a little. Oh, did the lights just go out? Without warning, the sky flashed again, the house lights flickered, and then went out. In the darkness, I heard a gasp and then a loud thump onto the floor. Ryuki, are you okay? Well, why wouldn't I be? Well, I just thought maybe you were a little scared. Are you an idiot? Who would be scared of something like this? Despite what he said, his voice was definitely small and frail in that moment. The power went out, lightning was tearing through the sky, and rain was falling in parrot. No way I could go home like this. I took out my phone and saw the power outage had stopped all the train lines too. Ryuki definitely seems nervous right now too, so it looks like that knocked out the entire subway system. Would you mind if I crashed here tonight? I casually tossed the question out in the darkness and sensed Ryuki taking a quick step back. Sure! I could hear the relief in his voice. I took that to mean he really was fine with me staying over. I turned on the flashlight on my phone and found Ryuki curled up under a blanket. I had to stop myself from laughing. He definitely wrapped himself up in that blanket because he was scared, right? I knew he'd get really mad if I laughed, so I quickly got a hold of myself. Another flash streaked across the sky, followed by a massive boom. Ryuki looked even more nervous than before. It seems like the rain isn't going to let up anytime soon. The weather report said it was supposed to be clear today. Good thing we finished dinner already. I let out an unexpected sneeze. I guess the cold from the rain was getting to me too. Ryuki looked at his blanket, then at me. Slowly he opened. Would you like to join me? Yes. Yes, I would. You sure you don't mind? It's getting pretty cold in here. Well, if it's really okay. I crawled underneath the blanket and let out a sigh of relief. Ryuki must have felt the same way. I could feel the tension built up in his body slowly fade away. But the storm was just getting started. The rain and wind were making the windows shake and rattle. It's so dark in here. Sure is. The moon must be hidden behind the rain clouds. Once my phone battery dies, we wouldn't be able to see a thing. Just then I remembered the candle that I had bought. Oh, I know. Do you have matches or a lighter? Something to light a fire? Matches? Yeah, there's a box on top of the drawer in the kitchen. Would you mind if I grab them? Go ahead. I slipped out from under the blanket and went to the kitchen to get the matches. When I came back, I got the present from my bag. It was a scented candle I bought for Ryuki. Actually, I got you a little gift to celebrate the release of your new line of clothes. A gift? Yep. I struck a match and then lit the candle and put it on the table. Here, now might not be the best time, but congratulations on your first ever women's line and for selling out day one. Ryuki looked at the gently glowing table. His eyes were shimmering. As the light of the flame flickered across his face, his brush started to soften. You picked this out yourself? Yeah, I thought about getting something fun for Kagura, but I decided you've been working so hard, you deserve something for yourself. Me? Working hard? Well, yeah, you work so hard all the time. So I thought this might help you relax a little bit. I see. Maybe it was just the flicking candle, but it looked like his eyes darted to my face, then quickly away again. It smells nice, and the color is just right, too. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. But it looks like one candle isn't enough to brighten up the whole place. You don't happen to have some more, do you? More candles? No, I don't believe I've ever brought any candles. Oh, wait, last time I moved, I think I remember my sister stuffing some candles into one of the boxes. They might be in that drawer right there next to you. Would you mind taking a look? Sure thing! I got up and opened the drawer he pointed to. Just like he said, I found a whole bunch of different candles inside. When I pulled one out, a piece of paper fell out and onto the floor. Huh? What's this? Did you find something? Yeah. I grabbed the paper and brought it along with the candle back to the couch. I laid the candle out on the table and lit them one by one and slipped back beneath the blanket with Ryuki. Oh! That's so cute! Oh, and her outfit's really cute. When did she change? The candles filled the room with a variety of colors. One orange and yellow of the warm, flickering flames made the room look like it was from another world. It's so bright! It sure is. We smiled at each other without a word. He moved his shoulders up against... we moved our shoulders up against each other to keep the cold away. I could feel a gentle warmth coming from him. We were glued together like two little birds fighting off a winter chill. We kept on gazing at the glimmering candles. It's just like you. Ryuki smiled and pointed at the candle I'd brought him. Like me? Yeah, it has your same color. That's my color? As I tried to remember the color code Ryuki had used on me when we first met, my fingers brushed against a piece of paper. I opened it up to discover a drawing of a dress, done in a variety of colored pencil shades. What's this? Where did you find that? Sorry, it fell out of the drawer while I was getting the candles. It's really cute though. Did you draw this? It's not a big deal, it's just something I made when I was a kid. Not a big deal, maybe he didn't think so, but it was obvious to me how good of a drawing it was. It even had views of the dress from the back and sides, plus an extra silhouette that made it look like a dress a princess would wear. So you've been an amazing designer ever since you were a little kid. Seriously, this is really good. And you drew a veil to go with it, and even a matching boutique. Banquet. Boutique? No, that's boutique. So that's what you hold. Wait, this must be a wedding dress, right? Yes. My clients at Cupid would be absolutely over the moon if we offered a dress like this. Seriously? The embroidery along the sleeves and the long lace hem, it's so gorgeous. Even a princess would be happy to wear it. If it was me, I'd wear this dress in a heartbeat if I had the chance. Really? A look of honest, genuine happiness crossed his face. I just nodded at him. After staring at me for a second, he broke out in a wide grin. It was the only time I'd ever seen him smile in a way that made him look his age. I didn't know he could ever smile like that. It reminded me that he was still just 19 years old. He really is something. He left his childhood home and came here all alone. And now he has a store and his own brand. If I didn't have the help of Aunt Minerva, Gil, and Clarice, I never would have survived down here by myself. I've only made it because so many people helped me in one way or another, and even then, I'm nowhere close to achieving my goal. You really are amazing, Ryuki. Me? Yes, you're younger than me, but you've already got your life figured out. You work hard and you're incredibly talented. He was a total professional, and he even knew how to cook, and he did it all without help from anyone. Probably because he's a total perfectionist. But should I really be so concerned about him? Am I just a busybody? I'm really not amazing at all. He mumbled that almost to himself, and if anything, he sounded almost confused. He looked down at his childhood dress design. From where I was sitting, I couldn't clearly read the look on his face. But I felt his shoulders tense up against mine, so I could tell that he was deep in thought again. When I was a kid, I actually used to draw dresses all the time. Really? I liked skirts that could twirl and spread out wide. I liked imagining where the lace would go. It's all I drew. But one day, at a big family gathering, someone told me something. They said Cassian was a men's brand, so there's no point in drawing dresses. They said I wasn't acting manly enough. What? Someone actually said that to you? Later, I realized that the people who told me that didn't actually have what it took to be a designer themselves. Anyway, I only wanted to draw what I liked, so I ignored everything they said about me. It's not like I had plans for my designs. I was just having fun drawing dresses. That's all I needed to make me happy. Then one day, my grandmother invited me to her house so she could start teaching me the designer trick of the trade. She was definitely strict, but she taught me the theories and techniques of design that I wasn't familiar with, which I liked. She taught me how to convert my designs into patterns and how to work with fine fabrics. She taught me everything I know. So of course I had fun early on. I learned that all of her designs were made from a single sheet of fabric, for example. But not once did my grandmother approve of my designs. Huh? Again and again she said it wasn't a design fit for Kyosen, that it should never see the light of day. I thought all I needed to do was have fun, but that's not what design is. You have to think about the person who will wear it. Once I understood that, I started studying harder to learn about the Kyosen style, but that wasn't good enough. And I wanted my grandmother's approval. I would never be allowed to make clothes. And without my grandmother's approval, I would never be allowed to make clothes under the Kyosen label. The rejections kept piling up, and there were days at a time where I wasn't able to make a single garment. Which is why I created my own label as soon as I turned 18. I wanted to make my own clothes as soon as possible. I wanted to find a way to earn my grandmother's approval. If I could gain international recognition with Ryuki, then she would have no choice but to acknowledge me. Ryuki's voice kept getting weaker and weaker, but it didn't work. Ryuki looked down at the clothes he was wearing and bit his lip, but nobody was interested at first. I couldn't use the Kaizen name, so I struggled to get my brand going. Even so, within the next year, I managed to get invited to a few collection shows, but my grandmother never said a word. I showed her everything I designed as part of my brand, but still, nothing. She was always strict, but she still praised me when I did something right, so if she wasn't willing to say anything, that meant there was something fundamentally missing from my designs. But even now, I have no idea what that might be, which is why my sister told me to look into marriage, I guess. But I'd never had any interest in love or marriage, so nothing my sister told me made any sense to me. All I know is that I'm not good enough. Ryuki, you need to stop beating up on yourself. Before I realized that I had interrupted him, my straightforward statement left him looking puzzled. But my designs there's nothing wrong with them. After all, I loved his clothes. I didn't want my own feelings to go unacknowledged either. The clothes you create have the power to make people happy. Don't you remember the smiles of everyone who came to buy your clothes today? All those customers, and Melanie, and me, your clothes filled us all with energy. It's not easy finding someone who can do something like that, so please, don't say that you're not good enough. I squeezed his hand and looked him straight in the eyes. He stared back, still struggling with his sadness. But the Kyosen name, is that more important than the opinions of the people actually wearing the clothes? This has to be so hard on him. Ryuki let out a soft groan. You said yourself, a good designer has to think about the person wearing the clothes. Well, you did that. You thought about people who wanted to get married but didn't have the perfect outfit. You even came to me for my opinion. So you're doing just fine. I smiled at him. He started to open his mouth as if to say something, but then just quietly shook his head. You know, it's been a long time since I've designed anything for women, and the truth is, it's been a lot of fun. I'm so glad! Everyone said that nobody would want women's clothes for Ryuki, so I always just focused on men. Ryuki looked at his wedding dress design again and smiled sadly. But the truth is, this is probably what I've always really wanted to do. Ryuki, so thank you for giving me that chance. His eyes calmed as he looked at me. Then he turned his gaze back to the candles. You helped me actually have fun designing clothes for the first time in a long time. For now, that's good enough for me. The candle light continued to flicker and sway. The profile of Ryuki's face staring at the flames was completely calm. He looked more mature than I'd ever seen him before. Oh, doll. As we sat there, leisurely watching the candle flames dance and move, we talked about a number of things. About dresses and designs, about my job, and stories about all the places he went in Japan. As the candle went out, one by one, Ryuki's eyelids began to droop. Oh, he fell asleep! He fell asleep? Eventually, his head slowly dropped onto my shoulder. It's been a long day. It was the first day he'd ever sold women's clothes, and I'm sure he didn't skimp on the preparations either. I wonder if he slept at all last night. He said he always makes sure to get his beauty sleep, but I also know just how strict he can be with himself. Good night, Ryuki. I pulled the blanket up around him and blew out the last remaining candles. Okay, and that is that. Divine Double Date. Oh boy, that'll be interesting. We are going to pause it here, and we will continue this next time. Thank you guys all so much for hanging out with me. I'm loving his story so much. It is fantastic. It is great. I just can't wait to learn more about him and different things like that. So it'll be good. As always, remember to eat some food, get some sleep, and drink some water. I'm hoping that he'll come to understand that his designs are beautiful and that he should be confident. And yeah, so thanks for hanging out with me again. See you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!